Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do more difficult word problems that you're going to get in the Thinking Blocks program. So this is an example of something you might get. It says the ratio of boys to girls is 3 to 4. If there are 28 students in the classroom, how many boys and girls are there? So I'm not going to have you worry about trying to solve this with a proportion, but you should definitely be able to solve this with a table. So I started setting up my table. You can see now I have 3 rows. Before you only had 2 rows because you were comparing 2 things, and the question asked you to find one of those things, given the other one. Well, this question, you're still comparing 2 things, but what the information they give you is a completely different thing. You have a part-to-part ratio here, and they're giving you the whole. So I want to have another column at the bottom for total students in the classroom. So what I do is I set up my original ratio, 3 boys to 4 girls. And I think about that, if for every 3 boys there are 4 girls, well then this ratio is talking about 7 total students. And then I make another equivalent ratio. All right, for every 3 boys, there are 4 girls. So if I have 6 boys, then I am going to have 8 girls. And how many total students would that be? 6 plus 8, that's 14. All right, and we want to go until we get to 28 total students. And I'm not there yet, so I have to keep going. So, for every 3 boys, there are 4 girls. So that means for 9 boys, there are 12 girls. And that would be, let's see here, 9 plus 12 would be 21 total students. We're getting closer, but we're not quite to 28 students yet. So, let's remember, for every 3 boys, there are 4 girls. So let's add 3 more boys to make 12 boys. And then for every 3 boys, there's 4 girls. So 4 more girls would be 16 girls. And then let's add 12 plus 16. This would be 28 students. Well, there we go. That's what we're trying to solve here. So right here in our table is our answer. Just be careful that you look at what 12 is and what 16 is. So how many boys and girls are there? There are 12 boys and 16 girls. And that's how you use a table to solve a problem like this, where they give you the total and you have to find a part. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you one more problem that you might get. It says the ratio of blue to red M&Ms is 7 to 3. If there are 35 blue M&Ms in the bag, how many more blue M&Ms are there than red M&Ms? So this one is, this one I don't expect you to be able to solve with a proportion, but I do expect you to be able to solve it with a table. If we think about the information we're being given the ratio of blue to red, so we're comparing blue to red, so both of those need to be in our table. We're given how many blue M&Ms there are in the bag, but we're not finding red M&Ms, and that's why we have a 3rd row on the bottom of our table here. We have to find how many more blue M&Ms there are than red M&Ms. We have to figure out what's the difference between the blue M&Ms and the red M&Ms. So that's why I have another column another row at the bottom that says difference. All right, so what you're going to do is start off with your original ratio, 7 blue to 3 red. And then I'm going to think about, all right, if I have 7 blue and 3 red, what's the difference between those two? Well, that would be 4 M&Ms. Blue has 4 more than red does. And I want to keep going with this ratio, come up with equivalent ratios until I have 35 blue M&Ms, because then I can just look at my table and find my answer. So remember, 7 to 3, that means for every 7 blue M&Ms, there are 3 red. So let's add 7 more blue to make 14 blue. And for every 7, there's 3 red. So that would be 6 red. And the difference between those would be 8 M&Ms. Blue would have 8 more M&Ms than red. And we're not there yet. I don't see 35 blue, so we got to keep going. So for every 7 blue, so that would be 21, I have 3 red, which would make 9 red. And the difference between these would be 12. All right, we're not there yet. We got to keep going till we have 35 blue. So for every 7, let's add another 7 blue. We have 4 red. Or I'm sorry, for every 7 blue, we have 3 red. So that would make 12 red. And then when I subtract these, the difference between these would be 16. So that's 16 more blue than red. But we're not there yet. We have to go till we have 35 blue. So let's keep going. Another 7 blue would make 35. And for every 7 blue, there are 3 red. So let's add 3 red. It would be 15. And when I subtract these, I get a difference of 20. And this is actually, I can stop here because this is the information I need. If there are 35 blue M&Ms in the bag, how many more blue are there than red? Well, here's 35 blue. That means I would have 15 red. And I mean, I could just do those two and subtract at the end, but I kind of like to add that last row because I like to make it easy. And the answer's right there for me. The difference is 20, so there's 20 more blue M&Ms than red. Sorry, that's a little sloppy, but hopefully you get the idea here, okay? So now you are going to go back onto thinking blocks and try some on your own. Good luck.